Welcome back to hour 2 of episode 27, the Handy at the Shandy podcast. It is also a Las Vegas podcast, I've heard, because if you just listen to hour 1, you heard an hour and a half of Las Vegas content. I'm still Table Games James, joined by Adam the Fraud and Boring Jack, and we are here in hour 2 with some listener questions. We're going to do our very famous segment of One Good Thing, and then talk a little bit about side bets and maybe some merch, question mark? We'll see. Wee. So let's start off with listener questions. Jack, why don't you take this first one that came into the inbox?
Yeah, our friend Andrew Hoffmeyer emailed the podcast at handyattheshandy@gmail.com, and he says, my question is about pay tables. You've talked a lot about them, and I'm curious what you do when you get to a machine. Do you look at all your favorite games and the different denoms until you find one you like? Do you just have the machines memorized around town and know where you want to play? Are pay tables always different for the different denoms? Are they different based on the game and the version of the game, like Ultimate X versus Standard 3-line, etc.? I've never paid much attention to the pay tables because for me it's more about the environment, but I'm thinking I need to take your advice from an earlier episode and actually watch the pay tables.
Okay, first of all, Andrew, only a one question limit next time. Okay.
I'll answer one of the questions in the middle there, where it says, do you just have the machines memorized around town and know where you want to play? The answer is yes. That's basically the way that I mostly do things. And then if there are places I want to play, like the Bellagio Sportsbook, but I don't remember exactly why it didn't really fit my normal criteria, I will go check it out and just kind of like page through the various games at various denoms and be like, oh yeah, what was here that I did want to play, or what was here that I found reasonable and stuff like that. So it's a little mix of both. Like if I'm not familiar with it, yeah, I'll just kind of page around and see what games are, more in the 97 than 96% range usually is what you're looking for on the strip.
Yeah, Andrew, and if you've been listening to us long enough, we really only talk about 2 or 3 places every single episode that we go, which was actually mentioned on the Due for a Win podcast when Craig was saying how when he listens to Las Vegas podcasts, he gets all these new things that he has to try out. So he has like this list of things. So when he goes out to Vegas, he like has anxiety over, I've got to do all these things. But then he made an off comment of like, well, except for the Handy at the Shandy guys, they only talk about like 2 things every time.
But part of that is going back to what Andrew's asking about, which is like that I do know specific places where the drink service is superlative and the pay tables are better than at other places in a lot of cases. And yeah, that's kind of the 2 things that I'm thinking of, right? I do try to check out new places when they open to see what they've got so that I don't get caught flat-footed not knowing that there's this great place I could be playing. Or I send out correspondents like James to go check on El Cortez and report that all the Ultimate X at the bar there is fantastic. So yeah.
I think it's just the high limit bar there too, by the way. So I'm pretty sure the regular bar is not as good. The first question that he asks is, do you look at all your favorite games and the different denoms until I find the one I like? That's exactly what I do. If I sit down at a video poker machine at a place that I haven't been yet, which was a lot this past trip with my dad, I would go immediately to their 3-line dollars to see if they're offering bonus poker and if it's 7-5 or 8-5, and then double bonus to see if I might get 9-6 like you get at Bar Luca. I'll then go to Ultimate X and kind of just do the same thing and look through. I'm not really looking at anything else because I really don't want to play anything else right now.
Yeah, I think if you know the game that you like or the games that you stick to, it's pretty easy to scan. But what about his questions of, are pay tables always different for the different denoms, and are they different based on the game and the version of the game, like Ultimate X versus standard 3-line?
Yeah, so to answer those 2, the first one, are they always different at different denoms? No, and sometimes it's really weird that the denoms can go up, and the pay table stays bad. And so like the Resorts World bars are like that. Like the pay tables are the same, at least at their bars. I know Resorts World in their actual high limit room at their highest denoms actually does have some really decent video poker, but at their bars, it just stays bad all the way up. I don't know. It's kind of remarkable to see.
Whereas in hour 1, I think James rightfully pointed out that it seems like at El Cortez, like you are rewarded in their high limit room for
playing quarters.
Quarters, yeah.
And same with that Chandelier bar. If you bump it up to 50 cents Ultimate X versus 25 cent Ultimate X, you do get a pretty appreciable bump there. I've never seen it go down. So it will, as the denomination increases, the pay tables will either stay the same or get better. But The get better is just completely at the whim of whoever set it up. They very often don't.
Now, I did say in hour one that at Circa, there was like no good Ultimate X. Like there was 7-5 double bonus. In their high limit room, if you go all the way up to $2 denom, then they'll flip to 8-5 double bonus. Like it was so bad. But I guess I give you a little more if you're going to play $60 a press. And are they different based on the game / version of the game? You know, Ultimate X versus standard 3-line. Ultimate X, and because it's going to have a different return, you will most of the time see slightly different, well, not all the times, but most of the time you'll see slightly different payouts because like 7-5, single line, let's say bonus poker is going to be around, and you can correct me with my numbers, but I just have it at like 98%.
Yeah,
whereas
7-5
Ultimate X bonus poker is 99, basically 99 flat.
See, I like to say that these gimmicky games almost always add something to the return. So if anything, their pay table is going to be lower or the same as a non-gimmicky game to adjust for that.
Yeah,
but don't feel weird for caring more about the environment, because that's a completely valid thing to care more about. Like that's typically my point of view, and it would take a dramatic shift in the pay table, one, for me to even notice it, but two, for it to make me not want to play at a certain place that I find really enjoyable.
I will say that early on in the podcast, longtime listeners will remember Jack explaining the idea of like the big difference between, let's say 99% and 98%. A lot of people are just like, it's just 1 percentage point. But really, you're losing twice as much. So if you're playing for a really long time, such a good point, isn't it?
Really smart.
Jack gives me $20 every time I mention this. But I do think about that, like especially with my new local casino opening and different places that I can go. It's like, there's a big difference between every time I go, I am expected to lose $200 versus every time I go expected to lose 4 or 6, right? If it's 99 versus 98 or 97%. So vibes are important until it gets to the point where you're like, I can take slightly less vibes and lose half as much. Yeah. I'm going to choose that one.
Good questions, Andrew. Next from Adam. Love it. Adam Lamb says, hey, gents, thank you for the great podcast. I'm really enjoying it. You're welcome. Question for you. A few of us are going out this fall and will be staying in the Aria, Cosmo, Bellagio area. Besides the Shandy and Cosmo Sportsbook, what bars do you recommend in that area for video poker and a great cocktail? Well, we don't know any other bars in that area, clearly.
Well, one thing I've said is that I do think you can get a great cocktail at more places these days. And so if you're not interested in the best Ultimate X pay tables that MGM has to offer, which for whatever reason are really only at Cosmo, I do really like both the Gem Bar at Aria, which is their main casino bar, the Baccarat Bar, and the Sportsbook Bar at Bellagio. That are 2 main casino bars, really. That's where I would go at the 2 places that aren't Cosmo.
Wait, right? Is Gem Bar the main bar, or is Gem Bar kind of like the side bar?
I don't know what would be the main one if not the Gem Bar, but it's the Gem Bar is the one that's attached to the same like center thing that the Players Club is attached to.
Right. I always think their main bar is like off. If you like are walking, it's like off to the right, and it's that really long bar with like kind of almost like a loungy feel that's got video poker on it.
Yeah,
the Sportsbook bar.
Is it there? I mean, it's by the elevators.
Oh, the Lift Bar. I forgot about that one. Yeah, that might be the main casino bar. I'm with you.
You're making me feel weird for a second. I thought I was being gaslit.
Well, I don't play at Aria a lot. When I do, I play at Gem Bar, I guess. But yeah, no, you're right. That might be the main casino bar.
So I don't want people to get confused.
Yeah, I'm with you at Gem Bar. Yes, we like the video poker at Chandelier Cosmo, but if you're comfortable with like single line or 3-line quarters or whatever, you are going to be able to find bonus poker at least at most of the those MGM properties. So even 6-5 bonus poker, like if you're playing quarters, like it's going to be a pretty decent game for you to be able to then get really nice cocktails comped.
Yeah, I think one of the more disappointing ones is Park, because what's that really nice bar off the casino floor?
Juniper,
and they don't comp.
No, they only have like 2 machines, and they don't really comp anything.
Yeah, and they have great cocktails in there, and I think of like the library and stuff. This is me naming a bunch of things that you cannot. That start not answering your question. But I would say the main thing is that we stick to those places because of those reasons. We stick to Shandy, stick to the Cosmo Sportsbook, stick to Gem Bar because they will give you a decent cocktail at the video poker bars. But beyond that, Center Strip, I'm not really sure where else you would get that.
Yeah. Next up, we have Tim Lawson, The Better Life, had tried to call all of us. And
he called me. I'm at the airport, like trying to get two kids through security, and this could have been a text. He's like a text. 100%. He's one of those guys who's like, hey, you guys, let's just have a meeting about this, when it could have just been an email.
Yeah. So he called me multiple times. I had multiple missed calls, and finally got through. And we had a long conversation. It wasn't just this. We had a nice long conversation, and it was good to catch up with Tim. But he said, hey, I gotta get a question for the pod in here. So he prefaced this by saying, I don't remember if I asked you guys this yet. And I said, well, I don't remember.
When he talked to me, he was like, I'm sure you guys have talked about this before, but we have.
I don't know if we've answered it, so I'm still going to do it. So he said, this is for all three of us. What is your biggest hot take or unpopular opinion about Las Vegas?
As a boring Jack, I think I have probably a lot of them. You know, there are those related to walking. There are those related to like Bouchon. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think your biggest one is?
I did think about this. I think by far my biggest unpopular opinion is that you shouldn't press your bets. Just as a general rule. And I think it's often because it can go like both ways. Like if you're playing a pressing system, you have to start out with bets that are too small that they don't really move the needle. And so you find yourself frustrated on most outcomes where you don't get on a big pressing run. You're just turning most of the outcomes into bad ones that you don't really care about, where even if you do win a little, it doesn't feel that good. You're just trying to get on like a big streak. Either that, or you're putting yourself in a spot where you're ultimately betting an amount you wouldn't be comfortable otherwise betting if it wasn't part of your progression system. And so it's just like and then you end up frustrated because you finally get to that big hand and you lose it. And then you're just like, why did I just lose a $600 hand when I'm normally like a $50 or $100 player, right? And so I feel like more people should be more boring and just bet a flatter amount within their comfort zone. And it's like at some point you're betting outside of your comfort zone if you're pressing, is my general rule. And maybe your bankroll can't handle that in the way you think it can.
I do feel it's interesting that like when dealers are kind of like urging you to press a little bit.
Well, yeah, if you're winning, you have to press. That's how you win big.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The guys on the Louis Theroux documentary make that pretty clear.
Yeah.
But then they also don't quit until they lose all their money.
I would say that my hot take, I don't even know if it's a hot take or if it's really unpopular, but mine is just that all the reward systems suck. Like none of them are good. And I always see like threads on like Reddit or memberships, like what's the best rewards program? Like none of them are actually any good. There's some that have better benefits maybe than others at times, depending on where you're at. Like, oh, everyone harps on like the free resort fees. But I feel like the tiers to get some of these really mediocre benefits are so massive that as
you're just going to get better offer. Yeah. If you gamble enough to get to those tiers, you're just going to get good offers from the marketing department anyways.
Right. So if I want to be more spicy about it, it's that like the rewards program doesn't matter at all. Like just pick where you want to play and get your offers, because the tiers actually kind of suck. And actually, I think they suck the higher you go, like the better the property. Like I think Venetian and Wynn's programs are actually terrible in terms of what they give you with your status. Like I think it's kind of a joke. But that being said, like you're going to get treated well if you're playing there and you're playing a lot. So that actually doesn't matter at all.
But I'm going to get a cruise certificate next week when I'm at Venetian.
Are you? Yeah, for like a 2-day, and you can use it on like 3 weekends out of the year. Yeah.
This is my hot take and a very unpopular opinion. I think sports betting is so fucking boring. I think it's like the most boring thing you can do.
I don't know if that's a hot take. I think a lot of people that enjoy the types of action Vegas has to offer also notice that sports betting is like pretty slow. Right.
Every time I mention to people that like I go to Vegas, I don't know, twice a month sometimes it seems, but I say I go out to Vegas like 5-6 times a year. The first question they ask me is like, oh, so you bet on sports? And I was like, no, like hardly ever at all.
Well, that's just good marketing from the TV commercials and stuff, probably.
I don't know. It's just not for me. I know especially like friend of the pod, Dan, which by the way, Dan is a Patreon subscriber.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
He was texting me the other day about it. We were like going back and forth on something, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the only Patreon subscriber that was only announced as his username." And I'm like, "Well, that's because your username is probably set as your real name."
Yeah, it didn't show me his real name. It showed me his email address and then his weird screen name.
I said, "Don't worry, Dan. Adam and Jack know that you're a supporter." And he said, "Okay, that's all that matters." So
I do feel like the sports bettors are some of the most annoying gamblers, though, because most of them are
catching strays just for no reason.
This is just directly for Dan. Most of them are not any good at it. They think they're far better at sports betting than they really are.
Tim Lawson also taking strays here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're just kind of annoying. And then don't even get me started on the people who bet on the ponies, because they are. Well, I'm not even gonna get into it.
They're like the Let It Ride and Mississippi Stud players of the sports book.
I don't know. We'd have to figure out a good something analogous for table games for these people.
I actually don't mind the ponies, because the races happen so often and they're very quick. Like, I think it's just like the bet needs to be settled faster than like, hey, I've got this amount of money riding and I don't learn for 3 hours if I win or lose. Like, I don't like that.
Don't even think about a futures bet, which could be months or a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I like betting on sports. I'm not any good at it, but it can be. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
They should have futures bets on like table games where like, it's kind of like overnight Keno, where you get to like, you say, I'm going to take the house, minus 28,000 at this craps table overnight. And if I wake up and they've held more money than that, it pays.
Yeah. And the number of zeros that come up in the roulette wheel overnight.
You just have there's probably some Kalshi way that you could do that if you have a little bit of insider stuff on it. All right. Well, thank you again. You can reach us at handy@theshandy@gmail.com. You can also send them in to Adam or myself on
I've gotten one.
The Twitter. Let's move into our next segment, which is One Good Thing. We're moving on down the strip.
I think the one good thing about our podcast is this segment. So
this is the one good thing.
And it's the one thing I came up with. One thing I contributed.
Yeah. So let's start with Aria. Now, Jack, as always, you came with us.
I came with you.
You came with us. You came to us with some fun facts. Would you like to read your fun facts from Aria/City Center?
Yeah. So we're just kind of grouping that whole Aria complex together for this one good thing. But one of the things I found really remarkable about this is, Jim Murren, then CEO of MGM Resorts, a lot of this was like kind of his idea, and he envisioned it to be like an urban district for Las Vegas. And he said, quote, similar to Greenwich Village in Manhattan or Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, which I thought is like the most ridiculous comparison you could possibly
totally
make.
Relatable. Exactly what Vegas needed.
Given how a city center turned out, and it's just basically this soulless, office park. And then the only other thing interesting that happened there that's no more is kind of on the corner near the Crystal Shops, where they've been putting in some more stuff lately, like that art museum or that other country bar. There used to be a full another hotel tower there called the Harmon that it basically got condemned and demolished right before I started going to Vegas. So it was supposed to be part of the thing. It only got up to be about like 26 floors tall before they realized, oh God, we used the wrong type of steel and the whole thing's going to fall apart if we don't just tear it down.
Yeah, it was like they were doing like shoddy, like something was ordered wrong. So they were like manually cutting some of the rebar, and they're like, yeah, you can't do that. Like this is all like specifically manufactured. It was so weird.
So yeah, there's supposed to be a whole another entire building as part of that complex that just got nixed due to a construction disaster. All right, James, what's your one good thing about Aria?
I'm going to go with their poker room. Not a big poker player, obviously, like I say, but I have played in there a few times.
Mississippi Stud poker room.
I think it's a well-run poker room.
Did you Google this?
No, I'm dead serious. I played this, one of the few places that I played a few times. I like the positioning of it where, I feel like some of the poker rooms, especially like on the strip, they're like hidden. Mm-hmm. And this, like every time you walk by to kind of go over to park, you get to like walk right by it. So I'm gonna choose something that I don't think either of you would have chosen, and that is the poker room for Aria.
It is a cool space. I like the design of it. I like the outside, like the like wall of kind of poker art, if you will. Mm-hmm. It's a cool thing. I was going to say that the best thing about Aria is the bed. I think it's one of the, if not the most comfortable bed in Las Vegas, with the exception of the Westin Heavenly bed. But other than that, I think Aria is probably number one. I would say that the worst thing about Aria is the weird, like almost like RV bathtub shower combo thing, where it's like, research says people want a shower and a tub, so let's put them together. Or you have to climb over the bath or through the shower to get to the. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. In my house, I do shower in my bathtub. So
yeah, but they want it to be like oh, let's have a walk-in shower and a tub. Yeah, but like we'll just put them.
How do you feel about that in the Cosmo 1-bedrooms, where to get to the Japanese soaking tub, you kind of have to go through the shower? Is that bad for you?
I don't know. I don't think I've stayed in the 1-bedroom.
Okay.
So I haven't had that because I was
Japanese. I don't like it's a Japanese soaking tub, so I can see why.
I'm not touching that thing.
Listen, Adam, you're taking away content from a future segment called One Bad Thing.
Yes, that's a good point. My one good thing about Aria is going to be their craps pit. They have good crews. They have good boxes. They have a ton of tables, and they generally don't have all the limits jacked up. You can generally find a table morning, noon, or night that you want to play at. And I think their kind of commitment to keeping the crap scene lively there is really good.
And just the layouts of the whole place is good. It's easy to navigate. You know where you're at. Mm-hmm. Getting down from your room, it's like you're right on the casino floor. That's really nice. Yeah. But those are many good things.
Many good things. All right. What about Planet Hollywood? Start with you, Jack.
My one good thing about Planet Hollywood, and this is a backhanded compliment, as generally you will find for Caesars properties. My one good thing about Planet Hollywood is that they're trying. Like, it seems like they're trying. Their new bar that they put in there about 2-3 years ago is really nice. The video poker ad is atrocious, so I don't really want to play there. But like, they're trying to make a casino bar that MGM has done a really good job at basically all their properties. Planet Hollywood wants some of that. Some of their new restaurant additions have been really good. We've heard a lot of good things about like Caramella, their brunch, their regular dinner seatings. I just think they're actively investing in the Planet Hollywood property to make it better. Like, money is going in and you're seeing good things happen there.
I was going to say, to me, it's like, it doesn't feel like a Caesars property. Like, it feels like it's got a really nice, good, full vibe to it. Like, there's no wasted space. It's got a lot of energy. They're playing the right music.
The space is a really good point, actually. All the other ones, just from the way their layouts are, like if you just keep walking up the strip from Planet Hollywood, maybe Paris has good use of space as well, but all the others just seem to have areas where you're like, oh, they didn't know what to do with this.
Right, exactly. Whereas Planet Hollywood is and I think it kind of goes off your point. Like, it's just thoughtful. It's thoughtfully done. And I just like being in there. Like I said, it doesn't even feel like a Caesars property because like, oh, this feels different and fun and good.
I'm going to go with something I mentioned in the first hour in my trip report, which is their video poker in the high limit room is the one good thing because it is as far as I know, and I haven't checked every place, but it's the best offerings you're going to get on at least Ultimate X in any Caesars property because you can get double bonus at 8-5 at quarters. So the one good thing, and this is the only thing I will ever do in Planet Hollywood.
Wasn't it 9-5 at quarters?
Oh, sorry, 9-5 at quarters. Yes. Thank you for correcting me, Jack. Just go ahead and take that and just plug it right on top and during the editing. It'll be perfect. Boom. Got it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And what was your fun fact for Planet Hollywood?
Okay. Have any of you guys ever dined at a Planet Hollywood restaurant? There used to be one at like Caesar's Palace, right?
Yeah, as a kid, many times. Yeah.
Okay. I had never been.
I never had either. We definitely had one. We had one at the Mall of America here. So it's like I had seen the brand from afar, but I didn't really know what it was or anything like that. I just think it's insane that this casino still remains named after, and the name is licensed from, a now almost entirely defunct like restaurant chain.
And like the inside of the casino, you would not tell it's like movie memorabilia. Like it's not, they don't lean into that in the slightest.
No, so it's just basically the Planet Hollywood Casino, I think, has surpassing the restaurant in terms of name recognition, because I think there's like 2 of them left in the world, right? So I don't know. I find that to be pretty remarkable. And it was also, I never ate at a Planet Hollywood, and I was curious.
They should have a Planet Hollywood in Planet Hollywood, right? Like they should.
Well, right. And the Hard Rock Cafe wasn't at the Hard Rock, and Vegas has been getting a lot of things wrong that we could have fixed pretty easily.
Easy fixes. All right, last on our group of 3, right in that same area.
Certainly not least.
Cosmo.
The Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. I'll share the fun fact here while we're still in a fun fact mood. Cosmo is built on just 8.5 acres, which is about the size of the lake in front of Bellagio. So they built the entire resort on an amount of land that Bellagio was like, well, we could just turn this into an attraction, right? And it surrounds the Jockey Club that refused to sell and make way for the big Cosmo there. And so that's part of kind of the weird shape of it, is that they had to build around this timeshare that's still sitting there and is never going anywhere. But 8.5 acres is remarkably small. Like it is.
It's average.
The thing that I find really cool about it is I think a lot of the fun things that we like about the casino and why it feels different stem from the fact that it's a weird shape and a weird footprint. So it's like, oh, all the restaurants are up on the second level and the casino's kind of this more elongated thing. And it has...
You've got a bar that's 3 stories high.
And it goes right out to the strip, unlike a lot of these other ones around there, like Bellagio, Aria, Caesar's Palace. You can't walk from a slot machine to the sidewalk on the strip in 10 steps the way you can at Cosmo, right? So I think there's a lot of really cool things about Cosmo that just stem from that.
Sometimes I forget about that, like how close it is to the strip. And I think like, oh, I want to walk over to New York. And I'm trying to like map out my plan from Cosmo. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I just walk out this door and go right. And then like I'm walking through. So yeah. Is that what you're going to take as your
that should have been my one good thing.
Well, you can go first on your one good thing.
I mean, my one good thing is the restaurant lineup.
Okay.
Everything from the casual dining to the high-end stuff, just everything there is incredible. And you can kind of trust that when they put new stuff in, that it's still pretty good. So I've not been disappointed really by anything there.
Adam, what do you got?
I mean, there's few things better than having either a cup of coffee or a late night cocktail on a balcony in the late fall, watching the fountains go off. And I think if you're a Vegas fan, it's probably an experience you should try at least once, even if MGM Resorts isn't your cup of tea, because it's just absolute heaven to just be sitting out there taking things in. I like it in the early morning, but I mean, it's just so much fun to have that space.
Yeah, I would have 100% went with that, but I figured one of you would. And so I'm going out, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. And Kim and I are going to be staying one night at an MGM property, and I was like, I should just take the one that I really want, which is the Cosmo, to get like the balcony. But nope, we're going to try something new, because I can't stay at the same room every single time, although I probably should just do that. So since we didn't say it, I'll take the bullet. I'll bite the bullet and say the Chandelier Bar is a good thing.
Controversial.
Like, shocker. Very controversial. But like they've got good games, great cocktails. The bartenders are wonderful. And also, if you sit on the, I guess we'll say the right side, as in directional right side, you can see like the sports that are going on. Now, I just said I hate sports betting. I really like watching sports. Like I enjoy being able to sit at the Chandelier Bar, and if
you don't know the outcome of the game for 3 hours.
Correct, exactly. And you can kind of see what's going on if there's like a major game going. I know you were talking about that, Jack, with the Knicks finals, the NBA finals, how you can kind of like see it, and so you feel that energy. And because it's so small of a casino, if you're at the Chandelier Bar, you feel the energy from the sports book, and sometimes you can even feel it from the craps pit, which is now a little further back because of the video stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Chandelier Bar.
There's no other bar like it. I mean, in Vegas, I should say, because of the weird layout of Cosmo, especially at night, it gets so crowded and compact in there that you have one walkway essentially you can walk through to get from one end of the casino to the other. So you're seeing everybody, and it's loud, and it's a bit much at times, but it's like there's so much energy there. And that bar has been great since its inception. Like yeah,
well,
it's
and even like they've got 3 levels to the bar. There's level 1, level 2, and then even later at night they open up the level 1.5, and each has their own different cocktail list that changes somewhat regularly. And so it's like, if you're not a gambler but you're more of a cocktail drinker, you can do a bar crawl at that 1 3-story bar and have to try a bunch of cool stuff. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's not a good transition.
Well, right, let's move on to another topic.
Well, those are our 1/multiple good things about Aria, Planet Hollywood, and Cosmo. A couple more things before we get out of here. A little bit of a spoiler alert. Jack and I are going to be in Vegas together here next week, bullied by Mr. Josh Duffy to come out with him. As
I feel like I got more bullied than you did. But I don't actually know.
You did get a little more. Sure. I got bullied first, and then I joined the bullying. And so we got a text from Vegas Duffy over at the Crap Vegas podcast saying that because the 3 of us are going to play a lot of video poker together, that we should have some side bets, kind of like how Vegas Matt, on the YouTube channel, their little group has side bets. And so we're talking about some options of side bets.
Yeah, there was this one thing Vegas Matt had been doing where basically they would each pick like a column of, or a reel on this particular slot game. And if you got like a good outcome, but that wasn't the best one, you had to put money in the pot. So the much more common thing that'll happen if you get like this good outcome in your column was you had to put in $100. But then if someone got like the great outcome in their column, then they get to scoop the whole pot. And so like you're kind of sweating like, oh, is this going to turn from good to great and I get all the money, or is it just stuck at good and I don't get all that much? And so James and Duffy and I were wondering, like, how do we do this for us playing our own video poker machines? Like, what can we do?
And so I had one idea. This idea was based around 4 of a kind, since like we talk a lot about 4 of a kinds or the 4 of a kind trackers. If you get a 4 of a kind, you have to put that number of dollars in the pot. So like if you get 4 7s, you got to put $7 in this pot. So every time you get a 4 of a kind, you put that money in. And then the way that you scoop it is if you get dealt 4 of a kind, then you get to keep the pot and the game starts over.
I actually really like this specifically because it already balances for people who play faster or slower. Like if you play really fast, yeah, you're more likely to scoop the pot because you're playing more hands, so get more dealt 4 of a kinds, but you're also more likely to have contributed more to the pot. And so like in some sense, your odds of contributing to it are just always going to be in line with your odds of scooping it. And so you could even have this where the bet is working even if we're not all currently playing.
Yeah.
Because you're never at risk to add money if you're not also at risk to scoop it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure because I do like the side bet action with like Vegas Bet where like something happens and you don't know if you have to put in or take out. So like I was trying to think, and I couldn't really think of anything with it. And I think Duffy came up with something where if you get dealt 4 to the Royal.
Yeah, that was the first thing that kind of came up. And so yeah, we're still kind of workshopping this. And one of the main reasons I thought I'd discuss it on the pod is I think in general, just talking about, these little side bets or things you do to enhance your gambling. I thought that'd be fun for that reason, but then also just to get some listener feedback on like, hey, do you have an idea for like a side bet you do with your friends while playing video poker that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I'd like to hear what people say.
Adam, do you have any ideas? We just threw this at you.
I have none. I have no ideas. You guys, it sounds great. Thanks for the invite.
You come on out. I'll get an extra room. I'll double book for you.
I'm on that thread. It's okay. I just got back from Disney. My bank account needs a rest.
As I alluded to earlier, we are hoping to get some merch out with the help of Tim Lawson and The Better Life, because he's trying to get a bunch of different pods. He already has kind of his own merch, and also you can bet on that merch under bettermerch.com. So he reached out to us, and so we're going to try and come up with a few different designs, a few different things. You can follow at The Better Life on Twitter and Instagram to kind of see when some pre-orders go live. I'm sure we'll have kind of a basic logo tee at some point, but I really want to have also some creative stuff. I don't know what that is yet, but I'd love to have some creative stuff out there. So if you have any suggestions, listeners, I know I already saw Sean post something on Twitter as some suggestions. So
And yet pre-orders, as you know, pre-orders really help a lot to make sure we know what sort of interest there is in a particular thing. So I'm going to put in the show notes a link just to his socials. And if between now when we record and the episode goes live, if there's anywhere else to click on to try to find a pre-order link, I'll have that in the show notes. And if we don't have that yet, just follow Tim's stuff and be ready to hear from him. And I'm sure, James will be tweeting it out and stuff. So yeah, it'd be cool to get some t-shirts out there.
Yeah. And I would 100% just wear my own t-shirt.
Someone says, "Oh, hey, what's that?" And you're like, "Oh, it's just a little thing. It's just
me."
You're gonna join the masseuses at the Chandelier Bar and just walk around like, handy.
I would get taken up on that real fast. I think that's the problem. And of course, the last thing we talk about is the next time we're going to be in Vegas. And Jack, when's the next time you're going to be in Vegas?
Well, it's going to be with James and Duffy about 5 days from when this episode posts. So
that's right. I get in on Friday evening. I land at about 6:30. Duffy's landing at about 6. I think we might actually share a cab/car or whatever down to downtown. I'm going to be staying downtown the first 2 nights. At Plaza is where I'm booked right now. And this is because I posted on Twitter trying to figure out where to stay. And I was going back and forth a bunch of different places. And then Jonathan Jossel was tagged as like, "Oh, I bet you should do that."
Johnny would hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah. CEO of Plaza. And he slid into my DMs and was just like, "Email me and I'll see what we can do." I did email and I was very honest. I was like, "Look, here's my play. Here's where I have credit. This is my status at other places. But I'm not going to be gambling at your place. I'm more than happy to stay because I'd like to try somewhere new because I just stayed at Circa and try something else. But I'm probably just going to play a little bit of video poker, maybe a couple crap sessions. The rooms are cheap as it is, like $175 for a Friday and Saturday night, all in." And so he was like, "Hey, thanks for that. Thanks for the honesty, etc." He's like, "Why don't you pay the base rate and we'll upgrade you to a mini suite and then just talk to the host at the end and maybe we can comp it off depending on your play." And I thought that was fair. So,
yeah.
You can call me a shill if you want.
I am.
But I'm going to be upfront and honest anytime anything gets comped. So we'll have a report on that. Then I'll move over to Palazzo for the remaining 3 nights that I'll be there. And Table Games Kim joins us on Monday. And this is going to be I'm the food guy now, I guess, right? I'm the food guy.
You are
I'll be going
to food guy.
8 East, Barry's, Coat, and then Gymkhana. I got the Gymkhana one.
Oh, man.
So it'll be really good. Jack, what are your plans besides all the same things?
Well, yeah, no, I'm also doing Sunday and Monday night at Palazzo, but I wanted to book when I get in Saturday night, they'll be staying downtown and I don't get in till 6:30 anyways. And so I can't join them for any of their dinner or that kind of stuff. And so I just figured I'll just book one night at Resorts World and take advantage of this offer that I've got from them for a free room because they're one that I'm perfectly happy to burn on an offer. And I don't really get much from them anyways, maybe because I'm happy to burn them on these offers, but that's kind of how these things go. But then I ended up having to book 2 nights. They wouldn't just book me for one night, maybe because they've seen a surge in one night bookings now that you have to have a room to get your F&B and your free play. So I booked 2 nights with them. So there's no way they're going to be super satisfied with my play, given that immediately following the first night, I'm moving over to Palazzo and playing there. But I like to play at Resorts World when I'm in town anyways. And so I'm not at risk of no playing them at least. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be a quick, I get in Saturday night and leave Tuesday morning. So I have 2 full days in town.
So you're double booked is what you're saying.
I am double booked, and it is going to be convenient because when people are moving over to Palazzo, I'll still have a room at Resorts World that people can drop stuff in. And, if you ever need to tutor an additional client, that room's there for you, et cetera.
That's true. Adam, you're going to be there soon too.
End of this month. Yeah.
We'll probably talk about that in the next episode, huh? But
yeah, I don't want to give too much away. Leave them wanting more
leave them wanting more. Well, awesome. This was a great night. I was so glad to be able to spend it with the 2 of you. We talk a lot about all the fun things going on, but honestly, it's been a year, right? We talked about this at the very beginning. It's been a year. And my favorite thing about every other week when it's recording is just I get to talk to the 2 of you about Vegas and chat about it and laugh and make stupid jokes like saying 8.5 is average. And it's just really, really fun. So I think that's it for this week's episode of Handy at the Shandy. That was episode 27, a full year.
Thanks for a year, everybody. Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, for Adam the Fraud, Boring Jack, I'm Table James Games, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.